Hi everyone and welcome back to Saturn Secrets. Today we're discussing the new moon in Virgo happening on the 6th of September and what it means for your zodiac sign. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing the beautiful new moon in Virgo happening on the 6th of September, what it means for your zodiac sign. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular updates. This new moon is beautiful because it is forming this perfect trine with Uranus in Taurus. So there's this gorgeous earth energy about this new moon, meaning that the new seeds that you're planting are going to be very blessed. They're going to bring positive changes. And not only that, we're experiencing a lot of lucky energy around this time as well due to the other planets. So the ruler of this new moon, Mercury, is going to be trining Saturn. Venus in Libra is going to be trining Jupiter in Aquarius. Mars in Virgo is going to be trining Pluto, and of course this new moon is going to be trining Uranus. So we have this gorgeous synergy in the sky, this lovely trine harmonious energy. We know that trines are the most positive aspect you can make in astrology. And we know that new moons are about new beginnings. So this new moon itself is going to bring a lot of blessed new changes. There's still a lot with trines that we can learn though. There is this theory, I guess, with a lot of people that if it's a trine, it must come easily. But this new moon has themes to it that suggest that a lot of what you're going to be doing is based on your own empowerment, taking back your own control. So to get really simplistic about the new moon, when a new moon is in Virgo, Virgo is one of the service signs. Virgo and Pisces is about service, but it's also about healing. So this new moon is a wonderful time to begin a new job, to begin a new diet, a new fitness regime, to begin a new routine, maybe a meditation practice, to begin something that is good for your mind, body and soul. That is the basis of a Virgo new moon. It's a wonderful time to start and implement healthy new habits that are good for you. Now this particular new moon is at 14 degrees of Virgo. 14 degrees of Virgo is where we have this energy of being mentally obstructive, where we get in our own ways, where we are conditioned to be negative or be resistant, where we're also conditioned to feel helpless. It's also a degree that marks how you react at a dead end, how you react when things just feel like they're not going your way, because that reveals a lot about a person. So to have a new moon at this particular degree of Virgo, for me, is suggesting that it is a time to break free because of the trine to Uranus, where you're becoming mentally obstructive in your own life. You know, so much of it starts in your head. And Virgo understands that your habits are what makes your life. You know, you think about the things you put energy to every day, what you focus your attention on. Those are the things that grow. Those are the things that develop. Now, in terms of being mentally obstructive, because this is a new moon and it's trining Uranus, and Uranus is about breaking free of restrictions, breaking free of resistance, particularly in Taurus. You know, we're seeing this huge theme in 2021 of Uranian energy. It's so dominant this year. And it is really asking us to become unstuck. And being unstuck isn't necessarily a comfortable thing. Becoming unstuck isn't necessarily a comfortable thing. So with this new moon, if you don't automatically feel whimsical and hopeful due to the other energies, it's likely due to the fact you have some kind of mental obstruction in your mind of what is possible or what you can do for yourself, you know, because at that time Mars trining Pluto, that's incredibly lucky and it's incredibly empowering. Mars is about our energy and our force, and Pluto is about transformation but also our power. So in the two trine, it's putting the energy into being powerful and into being fearless and brave in an area where you felt some degree of obstruction. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling really at a dead end in something, this is the new beginning for you. This is the new beginning to break free, to feel confident in the steps that you're taking, in the habits that you're placing. If you've felt particularly drawn since Virgo's season started to waking up at 5 a.m. or working out every day, or, you know, closing all the rings in your Apple Watch, or drinking more lemon water or something, you've just felt drawn to do something and you might not be doing it. But you know, when you have an idea in your head, it's almost like you're getting this download from your subconscious that's saying, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to go walking every day. I need you to meditate more. And you know that that message is quite clear, but you're mentally obstructive because that's part of being human. We like to feel safe. And to feel safe sometimes means sticking to our routines, even if they're not helpful for us. This is the new moon to start a new habit or change your routine in a way that's going to benefit you in the long run. We often find with Virgo and Pisces, they're the signs that want to save everybody. They want to save those around them. They want to help those around them. With Virgo energy, sometimes it can come across as being critical. So where you feel like somebody is floundering around this time, or you feel like somebody's a bit stuck, or you know what they should do, just remember that if you want to change and save somebody else, remember how hard it is to change and save yourself, and start there, because this particular new moon to me speaks of understanding yourself and being your own cheerleader, your own coach. It's not about anybody else. It's not about saving anybody else. 14 degrees of Virgo people, I think, typically do like to try and save those around them or help those around them, and it's a well-intentioned thing. But if you can direct that energy in yourself and see where you've become mentally obstructive, or you've become stuck or resistant, then this is a wonderful new moon to break free of those patterns. Another thing that I want to talk about with this new moon is that Venus is going to be in its home sign of Libra, trining Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, Venus loves being in Libra because it is at its home sign. And with Venus trining Jupiter, there's this beautiful, benefic, expansive energy in relationships, in harmonious relationships, finding harmony, finding common ground, and in some cases finding friendship in intimate relationships, finding a friend in everybody, seeing a friend in your business partner, seeing a friend in your romantic partner, seeing a friend in your friends and your family. There's this camaraderie energy coming around with Venus trine Jupiter, where we are open to making new friends as well around this time. For a lot of people, this will be a time when the right people fall into your lap. You find people that can help you in the next state of your journey. So you're trying to manifest a job, or you're trying to find a job, and you suddenly meet people that work for or know people at the company that you want to work for. Or you can find that you're looking for romance and suddenly a friend says to you, I know somebody that would be perfect for you. Something like that, where the right people can really fall into your lap around this time if you're looking for connections. Another thing that I talked about before was that Mars is trining Pluto, meaning that with Mars in Virgo, we're putting our energy to being of service, to being proactive in our life with our habits, to making better choices for our physical body, for our mental health. We're really proactive in that, and possibly quite fiercely protective of our mental health and our well-being at this time, to a detriment maybe of being angry. But with Mars going through Virgo, it's going to trine Pluto in Capricorn, meaning we're taking the power back with our habits. If it's something you've struggled with for a while, if you've wanted to quit smoking, or you've wanted to hit the gym, or you've wanted to do any of these things, if you start around this new moon, you're more likely to continue, because it's going to be something that feels liberating and freeing to you. Feels freeing, feels like you have control, like you have power, and like you have autonomy. And for a lot of people, there has been a feeling over the last year of not having this, freedom to move, freedom to even speak your mind, or whatever it is that you felt a bit inhibited with. I think everyone's experiencing the Saturn-Uranus square differently, and it's affecting everybody nonetheless. So you can find that the habits you take around this time feel very liberating to you, but they're personal choices. They're things that you can do for you, not anybody else. Because as I say, with 14 degrees of Virgo, nobody's going to come in on a white horse and save you from whatever dead end or restriction you're feeling at the moment. It's not about anybody else. It is about you. So what this can mean in a predictive level is exciting new beginnings and happy surprises. You'd love some happy surprises with this, because in August there was a lot of jarring surprises and shocks, I suppose. It was the astrology with Uranus and the Leo placements getting together and showing us problems with leadership, problems with democracy, problems with all these different political and social issues there were all these clashes and all these tensions, and we will feel a little bit more of that kind of tension towards the end of the month, and I will get into that with the full moon in Pisces video whenever the Scorpio placements start coming in on this particular square. And you know, with Scorpios, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be secrets coming to light. It's going to be, I really didn't see that coming moments with the stars when we get into that particular time. But with this new moon, it's going to be about positive liberation. It's going to be as well flashes of insight, flashes of genius in your life. Wherever Uranus is and wherever Virgo is, you're going to have these insights, these changes, these breakthroughs. So I will get into that for the individual zodiac signs, but just know that it's likely at this time that if you're feeling a bit stuck or jarred, this is the new moon for you. And it's also a wonderful new moon to make a wish. It's a wonderful new moon to manifest, especially through plant magic, so planting physical seeds as an intention in your garden. As we get up to the 21st of the month with the equinox, it's also a wonderful time to plant seeds. So this is a month of new beginnings in a big way before we start letting things manifest, and there's a restful period. But this new moon itself is a fantastic time to write down your intentions as well, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about communication and writing, so speaking things into existence, watching your words to others, watching your words to yourself, making sure that they feel empowering and they feel productive, I guess, to you, but that they also feel healing. It's not all about productivity and things like that. With Virgo, Virgos are natural witches, they're natural healers. And it's sometimes something that gets forgotten because a lot of Virgo personalities can be rather skeptical. So if you've been around a lot of skeptical Virgos in your life, you could easily forget that Virgos are very witch-like by nature. They know how to manifest, they know how to speak things into existence. So with this new moon in particular, wonderful time to manifest anything that you want, because especially if, as I say, you're looking for a breakthrough, you're looking for some kind of insight that can free you from the limitations, free you from the obstacles. And as I say, with 14 degrees of Virgo, it's likely the obstacle could be in your mind. It could be where you've become mentally obstructive. And you can see as well in your chart where 14 degrees of Virgo falls, that's where you can be mentally obstructive. So just make sure you're not getting in your own way. It's worth noting that if you have 9 to 19 degrees of any of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you have 9 to 19 degrees of the water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, a lot of blessings. And if they're close to 14 degrees, this is where you're going to feel the most blessings. This new moon is going to be exactly trying my Neptune in Capricorn, so I'm interesting to see what happens from a personal level, but that's an example that you can use of where this new moon might be affecting you, particularly if you have, 14 degrees of Virgo, great place to become unstuck. Where you have 14 degrees of Taurus, great place to become unstuck. Any earth placements are going to benefit tremendously from this, and the water sign placements. But if you're a fire sign or an air sign, just remember that Venus and Jupiter, especially if you're at the later degrees of the air signs, Venus and Jupiter really have your back around this time as well. And that's also true for the fire signs. So some people will be benefiting from the earth energy, some will be benefiting from the air. But this is a wonderful new moon. It really is. It's a beautiful new energy. And I have to say, I am absolutely adoring Virgo season this year. I have just found it to be a time that is almost textbook in terms of astrology, which is what I really like. It just fits like a glove in terms of the energies, where it's very healing, it's very organized, you're really understanding your habits, you're getting healthier, you're getting into self-improvement in a way that doesn't feel like a chore. So let's get into the animal spirit messengers for this particular new moon. Just remember, because of my little mishap there, Mercury's going to go retrograde at the end of the month. Just after this new moon, you're gonna start feeling the shadow, and that's not a bad thing, because Mercury is going to trine Jupiter 3 times. And if you would like a video on the Mercury retrograde, a special on it, and what it means for your zodiac sign, just let me know in the comments. So, animal spirit messenger, let's see what we get for a beautiful Virgo new moon. It'd be interesting to see, the wolf. Beautiful. We associate wolves so much with full moons. This is quite an interesting one. I can see the imagery on this. Can it focus? No, not going to focus. So the wolf energy, we think about lone wolves, and this ties into the independence of this new moon, where I mentioned that nobody's going to save you but yourself. If you've ever had a dream about a wolf, you can look up the spiritual imagery if you've had experiences with wolves. You know, maybe you've seen them in terms of logos, maybe you've seen them in terms of, you know, you're just watching TV and you feel like you're seeing wolves all the time, or you've seen them in the wild or something like this. If you've ever had a dream about a wolf's call, it's usually trying to alert you to something, that something is nearby, something's in the periphery. So for a lot of people, I feel like this symbolizes something being near manifestation, something being near completion, something long awaited that is maybe coming to you. But the wolf energy is also something that understands choosing our own path. And with this new moon being so rooted, so grounded, but also so liberating, it's showing us where we can lay better foundations for ourselves. Because the thing about Uranus going through Taurus, it reminds me of something that Aquarian personalities have to learn in this lifetime, part of the Aquarian karma. If you have Sun, Moon, or any place of Aquarius in your chart, you'll understand this. Aquarians are so freedom loving that they associate making their own decisions all the time with having freedom. It's not always the case, because when we lay solid foundations for ourselves, we have more freedom. When we have solid roots, when we're empowered in our decisions and we're making sensible decisions, a lot of the time we do have more freedom and we do have more power. Where we're careless with our foundations, we can lose our power, we can lose our freedom, you know. And with this particular card, I feel like for a lot of you, it is about establishing a new beginning for yourself that is based on liberation, but is sensible, because it's a Virgo new moon. It's a Uranus in Taurus trine. Mars is in Virgo, Pluto's in Capricorn. This is a trine energy that is based on laying solid foundations for yourself. And a lot of the time with the wolf, it can be this familial link where we have learned something from our parents, where we have learned something from our ancestors, where we feel guided in our intentions and our decisions, but we're not unnecessarily rebelling to be free. We're making good decisions for ourselves that is going to keep us feeling free and liberated, because it's hard to feel free, liberated, or even in connection with the divine when you don't have a solid foundation. If you're struggling for material security, for example, you could find that you feel more stuck than ever, but you're afraid of being in a job that makes you feel stuck. And you have to choose, in some cases, between feeling emotionally liberated and feeling completely, you know, financially stuck or something like that. You know, you're making decisions that are based on your own personal power and truth, but are inherently quite sensible. So it's not about becoming, you know, having a breakthrough where you just suddenly throw caution to the wind and quit your job. It's kind of more this energy about starting something new based on a sensible but liberating approach, where you're making a good decision for yourself that keeps you grounded, but also is based on choice. It's based on choice. It's based on not being, as I say, and I've said it repetitively in this video, but not being mentally obstructive, getting out of your own way. The wolf is also a symbol of ritual, and so is Virgo. Virgo is about establishing some kind of ritual for yourself, some kind of practice. The best thing that you could do around this new moon is have a ritual, is have a table set up with candles, paper, or a comfortable cushion on a floor. You think of the rituals you have in the day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, maybe you go for a run, or maybe you have breakfast. Putting intention and putting awareness into your ritual and what this actually means for you and how it keeps you sane and how it keeps you healthy. The wolf is also a sign that we need to practice more tolerance for other people and not step into anybody else's way. I have to say, one of the themes that I've picked up for this new moon more than anything is not getting in the way of other people and not telling other people what to do or how to live or, you know, what rituals they should choose. It's so personal. Practicing tolerance will release a lot of stress from your body. Deciding that you're not going to step into anybody else's path is going to release a lot of resistance for your body. It's going to release a lot of stress. It's going to release a lot of your problems if you're not focusing on what other people are doing and you stay in your own lane and focus on what it is you need to do for yourself. Of course, the wolf is also an activist, but there is a balance involved with this. So if you want to get involved in helping others, pick a charity, pick a cause. Don't try and, change what the people around you are thinking or doing or saying. Just step back a little bit. Focus on yourself. And if you want to channel that Virgo Piscean energy, that axis, onto helping others and serving others, pick something that is incredibly worthwhile, where you know you will be helpful. And that's the wolf energy. So I'm going to get into the individual zodiac signs and see what comes up for each of you. You can watch your rising for the astrology, but you can also watch your sun and your moon. And some people like to watch their Venus or other placements, maybe their chart ruler. So that is what I have for you. I hope you have a beautiful new moon in September. Don't forget to set those intentions, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries, welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So Aries, this new moon is happening for you in your 6th house of wellness, of routine, of your health, your physical body, your body image, and your work. So this new moon for you is a fresh new beginning in these particular areas, and it's going to be trining Uranus in your sector of worth and value, meaning that you might be making a routine for yourself that is incredibly worthwhile and good for your mental health, good for your physical body, and good for your spirit. So whatever you're doing around this time that is new in relation to your body, this is going to be something that's quite liberating for you. So maybe it's a new gym routine, maybe it's a new gym you're going to, maybe it is that you're eating a different diet, maybe it is that you're starting a new job, or maybe your body is just your main focus for the next 6 months. And this is going to be something that's very liberating for you in terms of your confidence, in terms of your self-worth, in terms of knowing what it is that matters most to you in your day-to-day life. Mars, your ruler, is also in your 6th house, meaning that your focus for sure is your physical body, your well-being, your routine, or your work. And it's going to be trining Pluto in your sector of career, long-term goals, success, legacy and prestige. So for a lot of you, the work that you're putting into your work or your body or anything like that is going to be amazing for your long-term success and your long-term goals. You're more likely, if you have a gym goal or a dietary goal or a work goal, to absolutely empower yourself to smash it from this new moon, especially for the next 2 weeks. But 6 months from now, it's good to figure out where you want to be in terms of work, how you want to be putting in, how you want to be spending your day, scheduling your day, how you're working through your work, what it is that you have to do in a day, what you have to get done effectively, and how this is impacting your long-term trajectory. So understanding that your habits in the day are going to impact you in the long run and focusing on what's most important to do. But what I see for a lot of you in terms of manifestation, or what could be coming to you at this time, is a fresh perspective on your body, on your health, and what matters. So for a lot of you, you could be manifesting higher fitness levels. You could be manifesting a vegetarian diet. Maybe your diet is actually changing. Or it could be that you are manifesting more money because of the trine to Uranus, and you might have an opportunity to take on a project at this time in work that is going to put you in a better position financially. So that's something that could be coming up for you too. Your tarot cards were the Princess of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. A lot of you are making a new start in terms of your long-term security. Maybe some of you are putting more money into a home. Maybe some of you are putting money into a property, or starting a savings plan for a property or a home or a family matter. For a lot of you, what you're doing at this time is likely to be laying a solid foundation for yourself physically, in terms of the material. It's about putting the work into building something for yourself, because the Four of Wands is a structure that has been built. So for a lot of you, you could be physically building. You could be getting together an IKEA flat pack and constructing it. You could be planning to develop a home. You could be making plans for renovations, and there could be news about that around this time, or news about a property issue, or maybe even a family member coming into your family, because with the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, there could be a new addition to your family, or there could be a new plan for the family that's going to be affecting you in some way that seems to be really positive, really sweet, really new, and something that's going to feel like good news. So if it's a property issue or something like that, it could be that you get some good news around this time, good news surrounding the family, good news surrounding your future plans. So that is what I have for you, Aries. Don't forget that in terms of your long-term manifestations, because Saturn's there and also Saturn's in retrograde, your long-term goals and manifestations can feel very slow at this time. The things that you're planning for your future can feel slow, but it's going to be getting a trine from Mercury around this new moon. Mercury's ruling this new moon, meaning that there could actually be some really positive news about long-term relationship goals. So if you're in a relationship, there could be wonderful news about how you're going to progress your partnership, or there could be wonderful news in terms of open communication in a relationship that bodes well for your future. Maybe it's easier to discuss what needs to be discussed, especially if you're planning something like a wedding, or you're planning a child, or you're planning a property issue or something like that. There could be really good open forward momentum discussion or good news that propels it forward a little bit. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I'll talk to you soon. Hi Taurus, welcome to your New Moon in Virgo segment. So Taurus, as an earth sign, especially if you're around 14 degrees, 9 to 19 degrees, if you're in that area in particular, you're going to be blessed. You're going to be blessed. This new moon is happening in your 5th house of love, happiness, pleasure, romance, good feeling. It's a fun house. It's a fun house. So it's going to be trining Uranus in your sign in a perfect trine. So there's going to be a state of perfection in terms of your new beginnings with this new moon. Now that's not to say everything in your life is just going to instantly go well, because I think for a lot of Taurians, because of that Saturn-Uranus square, there's been upheaval. There has been likely a lot of change, a lot of restructuring. Your life could look radically different, especially if you have been directly impacted by the square. But this new moon for you is some degree of a liberation. It's becoming unstuck in something where you don't feel maybe as heavy, maybe you don't feel as weighed down by something that had to change, because change is hard for you. This new moon can be a time when you meet somebody that you're going to fall in love with, or you're dating somebody significant, or you're having a lot of fun, or you are finding out you're pregnant. It happens with the 5th house a lot. Not to say that's going to happen to you, but it could be. It could be that you're going to have your first child with the 5th house, or it could be that you're just enjoying time with your children, or establishing a breakthrough with a child if they've been in a troubling spot or a tricky predicament. So this is a new moon for you based on a breakthrough in terms of love, romance, happiness, children. It could just be for some of you, you just start to feel better. You just start to feel like you're coming out the other end of something and you feel happy, or you just realize that you're on a roll with something, or you want to inject and even schedule in fun for yourself, playing with your inner child, doing things you used to do as a kid in order to feel good, in order to feel enthusiastic, happy, whatever it is that matters to you. This new moon is a time to do things that make you feel happy, but also make you feel creative, because it's the 5th house. It's likely that these new beginnings, in terms of love, in terms of your children, in terms of your creativity, in terms of what makes you happy, are going to serve you, because we have Uranus in your sign forming this trine. They're going to liberate you. They're going to make you feel free. Also, Venus, your ruler, is trining Jupiter, and this is just too blessed to be stressed, because Venus is in your 6th house, which is to do with your work situation, your health situation, and it's trining Uranus in your career zone. So it could be for a lot of you that there's some kind of good news surrounding your career, your professional life, especially if you want to be seen by influential people, if you want to meet stars, if you want to socialize with people that are really successful in the area that you want to be in. Wonderful time to meet people. So we have Knight of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. If there is something that you're working on that's kind of slow, because Saturn is going through your career zone, there will be something slow. I know that Jupiter is lovely to have in your career zone, your long-term goals, your relationships with men, that kind of thing. I know that it's lovely, but Saturn is still there. Saturn's still there in the background, but Saturn is just delaying some things where it wants you to be really clear and really mature in your decisions and respect and appreciate the delays. But Mercury in Virgo, your 5th house of fun, happiness, pleasure, is trining Saturn around this time, and because Mercury rules this new moon, that's significant. So Mercury trining Saturn is going to be Mercury in Libra. Mercury in Libra, in your sector of work, fulfillment, habits, that sort of thing, is going to be trining Saturn. And Mercury in Libra trining Saturn for you means that there could be good news surrounding a slow moving project, or something that just doesn't feel like it's moving quick enough, that you're putting a lot of effort into, or you're feeling like there's a little bit of a delay. Keep going. There will be a breakthrough, and this is something that's going to be paying off for you. So if you're looking to give up on something, career, work, health matter, don't give up on it, just keep going. It's going slow for a reason, likely so that it's incredibly durable, and you suit that. You need durable things. So that is something coming up for you as well, Taurus. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to your new moon segment. So Gemini, this is happening in your 4th house of home, of family, of your property, and also your emotional foundations. So this is going to be a new moon that's very interesting for you, because it's trining Uranus in your 12th house. So what that means is that a lot of the energy that's coming around this time could be very internalized, could be very emotional, and could be something that is maybe not necessarily seen, but is felt. There could be feelings coming to the surface for you that you think, I would like to take some time to address these. I would like to take some time to address how I'm feeling about a particular issue. Because Uranus for you is a planet that indicates further travel, it indicates your higher self, as it were. I feel like a lot of you are going to be making plans to serve your higher self. Like you're changing your perspective in life. You want to change your perspective on the world, or your attitudes surrounding travel or education, even learning. And maybe your intelligence. So it could be for some of you that there's a wound here, because it's 4th house that goes back to childhood. And because it's connecting with your 12th house, you're kind of getting liberated from a wound. So I don't know, that for some of you, it could be that there's something comes up in work. It could be that there's something that comes up in work that makes you feel right back to where you were in school, or it could make you feel this voice from somebody else, this mental chatter that says you're not good enough, or you can't get this, or you whatever. Telling a Gemini they can't do something. Geminis always absolutely defy anybody that tells them they can't do something, and it's the thing that I think I admire most about Geminis. So it's understanding how this has elevated you, or how something that you thought was hurtful has elevated you to be more successful, or it's elevated you to be more empowered. But I do feel that sometimes when these emotions come to the surface, to break free from them, they have to hurt a little bit. So for you, it could be that there's feelings or thoughts or memories coming up around this time that you are overcoming. And not only that, Venus is going to be in Libra. Venus is in your 5th house of love, romance, and happiness, and it's going to be trining Jupiter, which is really happy, expansive, and optimistic. And Jupiter is in Aquarius, which for you is the higher self. So with that being said, I feel like a lot of you are going to be feeling like you're overcoming something, or that you have the strength to overcome an obstacle or a setback or a feeling. It could also be that for a lot of you, you're changing your home, you're changing your property. There's good news comes in your family out of nowhere, from a family member possibly. There could be somebody behind the scenes who's really helping you if you're working in terms of property, in terms of home situations, your housing situation, developments, that kind of thing. Big new beginning there, a new chapter in those areas for you. And Mercury, your ruler, which is in Libra, is also going to be trining Saturn, meaning that for you, it feels like there is a long-term potential with somebody. Somebody who could maybe make you very happy, or it could be that there is a new relationship on the horizon with all the Libra energy, a new romantic interest. And because of the link to Saturn in Aquarius, it could be that there are long-term prospects, or a lot to learn from this person, or a lot to learn from a child, or a lot to learn from a current relationship. Now, your tarot cards were the 7 of Swords and the Moon, so don't get scared. This ties in exactly with what I was saying, where you have these feelings, because to me the 7 of Swords comes up more so for people when they're lying to themselves, and it's an imposter syndrome card. It's where you feel like you're not enough, or you feel like you shouldn't be here. You feel like, why am I, should I be doing this? Should I be in charge of this much responsibility? Mercury, Saturn. Should I be in charge of this person's decision? Should I be in charge of this project? All that sort of stuff comes up around this new moon. So wonderful time to address where you feel like you're an imposter, where you feel like you're the imposter in the game Among Us and you're sus. You're not an imposter. You are doing the best you can, and you're likely where you're meant to be. So lean into those feelings and see how you can break through from them. That's what I have for you, Gemini. Take care. Bye. Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So Cancer, for you, this is your third house. This is to do with the people that you interact with on a regular basis. It could be your friends, it could be your colleagues, it could be the people in your neighborhood. And this new moon is a new beginning there. It's going to be trining Uranus in Taurus, which is your 11th house of manifestation, your aspirations, your hopes for the future, and also your friendships in general. So for a lot of you, Cancer, you could be making a new friend, or you could be entering a new friendship group around this new moon. In particular, it could be that you meet some really interesting people. It also could be that you are selling something. You're maybe completing a sale, or for a lot of you, you could actually be completing a saga of education, or you could be beginning a new saga in education, and your education is highlighted around this time. You're committing to learning something new. You're committing to studying something new. Maybe starting an apprenticeship, maybe gaining a new skill. Maybe you're trying something that you've always wanted to try, and you're feeling like it's actually helping you break free of something. Say you've been in a job you don't like for a while, you could be committing to a new course, a new part-time course where you feel really excited and like you're learning, and it's going to help you break free from whatever you're doing. Or it could be that you're changing up your neighborhood, or you're getting to know your neighbors, and this is helping you feel less lonely, or they know somebody that can help you in your situation. So keep your ears open for people that can help you around this time. Other things that are going on is that Venus and Mercury are both in your home sectors. They're both in Libra, and they're going to be trining with the Aquarian energy, which views your 8th house. So for a lot of you, there could actually be some money comes into you around this time, Cancer, or an ability to make some new money, or be lent money, or make more money from your services, what you have to offer. With Venus and Jupiter, there could be this really beautiful sense of getting investments and money for your home space or for your family. So it could be someone in your family is coming into money, and maybe they're giving you a gift, or maybe it's that you're going to be inheriting a property, or maybe it's going to be that you are redecorating, you're able to get the renovations that you want. But whatever it is for you, Cancer, this is a very powerful new moon to manifest, especially through the written word, because this is the 3rd house. So get journaling, get scripting, whatever that is that you're using your voice, you're putting pen to paper. Those are the most powerful types of manifestation for you at the moment. Also, your tarot cards, the Sun and the World, 2 of the most positive cards in the whole deck. You're definitely going to be manifesting something, Cancer. 3rd house season is a time when you can really learn something that empowers you. Now don't forget that the World card can also rule education. It can also be what we've learned. It can be a graduation. It can be a new chapter in your learning life. Everything is a learning curve. It could be that you're finally mastering something. Some of you could be beginning a master's course or a new course of study that could lead to a lot of success. I have to say, if you're starting something at this time that is to do with study or learning, a lot of success. And this can even be starting a new job where you have to learn a new trade, something like that. There seems to be a lot of success coming to you for learning. It also seems that some of you are planning a trip around this time that is going to be very expansive for you, or really important for you in some degree. It could be that you're going to learn a lot from it, or you're learning a lot from other people. There could also be significant events with a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising person. There could be some sort of completion with that person, or there could be some sort of new chapter with that person. Either way, it looks to be that there is going to be a lot of positive energy around you this time, Cancer. So I do hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome to your new moon in Virgo. segment. So Leo, this new moon for you is happening in your second house, which is to do with worth. It's to do with value. It is to do with what matters to you. So this is a time when you're really focusing on what matters, what you want to spend most of your time on, where you want to devote most of your energy and your intentions towards. It's also going to be trining Uranus. Now Uranus is in your 10th house of career, long-term goals, long-term success, also your status. So it could be for some of you around this time, you're going through a status change, or you're realizing what titles matter to you, what roles matter to you, what job matters to you, what people matter to you in terms of the future. So you're getting really clear about what you want in the future and who you want to go with you. You're also getting very clear, I think, Leo, on what is going to make you feel abundant, what is going to make you feel fulfilled. And it might not necessarily be money, but for a lot of you in terms of predictions, you could be beginning a new chapter here in terms of your money. Maybe you're stepping into a new role, because the 10th house and second house, when they're connected like this, oftentimes indicates a pay rise or a new role or a new job, or something that's going to make you more money or more affluent or just more successful. Or also, I hate to use this word, but also more important in your workplace. So it could be that you're taking on something new in terms of a title, or you could be taking on an opportunity to train people or something like this. But it's likely to be very positive for you, Leo, in terms of your work relationships in general and also your money. So there's good new beginnings here for money. Also, if you want to play a little fun game with the universe, I have seen with second house new moons, if people write down a number, you know, what they want to manifest, and they can make it really obscure. Like say you can say, I want to manifest 825 pounds, something like that. You can often see 6 months later with the full moon in this sign that exact figure manifests, or it can be quicker, but whether you have a new moon like this in your sector of money, maybe you have a financial goal you want to meet this year, something like that, or maybe even, you know, you want your company to meet a particular number. Set that intention, write it down, hide it away, take it out in 6 months, you might just see it. I've seen that happen a lot. So that is something to play around with. So also for you, Leo, your cards were really lovely and really sentimental. And I want to get into the astrology of why, but you have the Two of Cups and the Empress. This is likely because Venus in Libra, which is your third house, is going to be trining Jupiter in your sector of partnerships. Good news surrounding relationships. You could be talking to someone around this time that's new, where there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of potential in your relationship. You could be having a conversation, maybe even about the future. With the Empress, it can be about money, kids, investments. That's really exciting. So for a lot of you, if you're looking for love, Venus connecting with Jupiter in your 7th house, beautiful. But also Mercury connecting with Saturn, beautiful. So it's likely for around this new moon, Leo, some of you could have a wonderful new beginning in a current relationship, in a current partnership. It could be a pregnancy. There could be a property. There could be working together even. There could be something about collaboration. For those of you not in a relationship, it's likely that if you do meet someone around this time, it would be somebody who's more serious about relationships, maybe someone who really wants to have a family, something like that. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. If that's not something you're looking for, you might not meet people that really tick that box around this time. If you're looking for someone that's just, you know, a good time, I guess. But I think for a lot of you, there seems to be a significant addition to a partnership. So that could be a baby, that could also be a work project, or it could be a home project or something like that. So that's what I have for you, Leo, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome to the new moon in your sign. This new moon is in your 1st house, Virgo, meaning it is a new chapter. And if this new moon is conjunct your sun in particular, say your sun is between 9 and 19 degrees of Virgo, this new moon in particular is a new beginning for you. But if you're a Virgo in general, it's going to be a new beginning for you in some capacity, especially Virgo rising. But if it is pinging 14 degrees of Virgo in your chart, very significant. And I have to say, if it is touching that, you have to take this moment to say, I am ready to liberate myself from myself. Get out of your own way, get out of your own head. Where have you become really mentally obstructive? Where are you feeling incredibly stuck in terms of yourself, through your own decisions, through your own personality, what it is that you want to liberate yourself from? Because Uranus is going through Taurus, it's trining this new moon, and Uranus is in your 9th house of the higher self. This is your moment of ascension. So for some of you, you could be having headaches, you could be having weird spiritual flu symptoms where you don't actually have a flu, but you feel weird physical symptoms, releasing energy. You could be having weird dreams, people from the past. You could be experiencing wanting to live incredibly differently, and also meeting past versions of yourself and saying, I get why you did what you did, but we're going to do these things differently now, in a loving way. It's important to relate yourself to an energy of love where you accept yourself for what you did. We all have regrets. We all have things we wish we'd done. Sometimes they keep us up at night, but this for you is your moment to step into who you want to be, who you want to be going forward. And Mercury, it's going to go retrograde in your 2nd house towards the end of the month. Mercury's your ruler for now. And it's could talk about that in another video. Mercury going retrograde in your 2nd house, you're really going to reassess what matters, and particularly what matters for you in terms of work, in terms of habits, in terms of health. So for you at the moment, Virgo, it's about stepping into your power and saying, this is who I want to be. It kind of reminds me a bit of that Gavin DeGraw song. I don't know if he still makes music, but he had this song called I Don't Wanna Be, and it's so your theme song around this new moon. So have a listen to that. It's going to be something that actually maybe resonates with you a little bit. And if it doesn't, then maybe not right now, but maybe later. So Virgo, for you, this new moon is about deciding who you want to be and showing up as them, showing up as who, you would like to be in terms of engagement with this life, maybe even in terms of traveling, in terms of education. Maybe you want to start a new degree. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to travel to a foreign country. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to see a new culture. Maybe you want to be expansive. Maybe you want to try new things. If you feel like you want to do them, don't get in your own way. Don't be obstructive. Lean into that engaging feeling. Also, Venus in Libra is in your 2nd house. Really good for your money. Also connecting with Jupiter in your 6th house, super good for money. Super good for money in terms of being rewarded for the work that you do. Also seeing a payout in terms of the work you put into your body or your mental health. If you've not put that work in, a wonderful new beginning for you to do so. Your tarot cards were so clear. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords. So numbers that might resonate with you would be 88 or 888 or 8888. Those could be spiritual symbols for you, but with the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords, if you're feeling trapped, anxious, like this lady with the blindfold surrounded by swords, it could be that you're really not doing enough of the stuff that gives your heart joy. Sometimes being anxious and feeling really low can be because you're not doing things that are good for you, like things that you love to do, things that make you feel excited and make you feel happy. And a lot of the time with feeling stuck or feeling inhibited in some capacity, we forget the things that made us feel joy as a child. For a lot of you, you could find that painting, art, making things, making crafts, redecorating, learning new things, reading, studying something, all of these things can really make you feel liberated, make you feel empowered, and could actually re-energize you more than just sitting with the feeling and trying to unravel it. I do suggest for a lot of you, if you're feeling like your thoughts are on this spiral, write them down. Write them down, see them on paper, and interact with them in a way that makes you understand that maybe there's another perspective. Maybe I am getting in my own way in this particular area of life, and I'd like to stop that moving forward. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. It's a beautiful new moon to start anything new for yourself, anything new for you. Keep the focus on yourself, on who you want to be, who you're becoming, what you're proud of about yourself, what you like about yourself, and that will help you become unstuck and step into the higher Virgo. So that's what I have for you, Virgo, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So Libra, this new moon is in your 12th house. Now the 12th house is about our subconscious. It is about the unseen within. It is about our dream state, and it's a very mystical, magical place. It's also very mysterious. So to have a new moon there can feel a little bit confusing. But if there's one thing that I've learned about a new moon in the 12th house, it's kind of where the magic happens. So you could really learn a lot from a tarot reading at this time. If you have a deck, you can whip them out. You can figure out some stuff going on within you. For a lot of you, this is a fantastic time to start a journey with a therapist, or you know, investing your money, or starting a new journey with somebody else financially. The reason that I'm saying that is because this new moon in the 12th house is going to be trining Uranus in your 8th house, right? So the 8th house is also very occult-like. It's very witchy. It's where we go for a lot of transformations. It actually rules psychological transformations too. So when the 12th and the 8th connect, you could be in a new beginning of getting help for some kind of issue that has been plaguing you for a long time. It could be that you get a new therapist and just everything clicks. You feel like you're getting this person and they get you. It could be that you're, you know, some of you could be spending some time. Sometimes with the 12th house, people can spend time in hospitals. It could be that if you're in the medical profession, you're really having a breakthrough in terms of your work within the organization. Or it could be that you're maybe, you know, you could be getting something done if around this time, if you're having surgery, you could be finding that it's something that's going to be really good for you in the long run. It could be very liberating for you. If you have to have a procedure done around this time, sometimes happens with the 12th, rarely. But just to put that out there, because in case you're going through something hospital-wise that you're scared of, great time for you. But with this new moon, it's a wonderful time to set subconscious intentions, you know, affirmations. I am this, I am powerful, I am whatever. Even if you're not feeling it at the time, wonderful time to set those intentions. You could also have a lot of psychic breakthroughs around this time that make you aware of what it is that you want to do next. So that could be in terms of tarot or reading astrology. 12th house, 8th house would be tarot, astrology, psychology. It's also where we go to learn about conspiracies or true crime, things like that. So if your interest in those things peaks, that's why. So this is actually a really interesting time for you to take some time to yourself and just do things that really pique your interest and really get you involved in a good mystery and a good uncovering and a good unrooting of what's going on in your life, Libra, because you could have some amazing realizations at this time. You could really have some funky dreams. You could really have some spiritual experiences. You could see a ghost. So what happens in the 12th and the 8th sort of unite like that. You could see a ghost. Something like this. But there's also really beautiful things happening for you in terms of your ruler Venus in your sign. Love this. It's going to be trining Jupiter in Aquarius, which for you is your 5th house of love and happiness and romance. Mercury is in your sign, and yes, it will go retrograde at the end of the month. But Mercury in your sign is trining Saturn in your 5th house as well. In terms of love and happiness and joy, some really beautiful moments are coming up for you. Makes your heart feel full, basically, and also you're looking magical. Like, that's how you look at the moment. You're going to be looking magical. You're going to be attracting a lot of attention, a lot of suitors if you're single, a lot of interest. Even if you're in a relationship, people in the street are going to want to talk to you. You're just going to attract a lot of people's attention. They just think Libra's beautiful, or Libra's glowing, or Libra's just so interesting. And it might be around the new moon, give or take a couple of days, you kind of feel more introverted and you want to be on your own and assess some stuff. But it's likely that the inner work you're doing in terms of healing is actually going to show on your outside, and people are just not going to be able to stop commenting on how amazing you're looking or how your energy is different or something like that. So it's a beautiful new moon for you, Libra, to commit to self-care, to commit to dream journaling, and also maybe take a trip if you can, especially if it's solo. So what I have for you in terms of tarot is Judgment and the Two of Pentacles. There's a big decision coming up for you. There's a big decision. There's a big recognition. If you've been back and forward on something for quite a while, you're going to make a very clear, clean-cut decision, and it's likely linked to your subconscious. It's likely linked to a realization that has been lying dormant within you that maybe you didn't hear, maybe you weren't listening to, but it's going to be something that's really loud. It's going to be a calling. It's going to be just complete clarity, understanding where you've been unsure and back and forth, because Libra, Judgment is, while it might be a Pluto card, there's a reason Libra is actually associated with judges. I think it was in ancient Greece. I'm pretty sure that they used to choose the judges based on being Libras. There was definitely a culture where this happened. You might want to go and look it up, because I'm not 100% sure I've got the facts totally straight, but I know there was a culture, I think it was ancient Greece, where they picked judges, might have been ancient Rome, where they picked judges based on being Libras. And you know that works because you see Judge Judy, she's a Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars and Venus, I think, in Libra, something crazy like that. And she's probably the most well-known judge in the whole world. But Judgment card here, you're making a good decision. You're making a good decision. You're getting clarity on what it is that you need to do. So if you felt confused back and forth about something, you're gonna have a very clear answer. And some of you might also hear from somebody from the past. There could be a reconnection with somebody from the past, have to say it. Doesn't mean that you have to do anything about it, doesn't mean that you have to go there, but it's likely. So that's what I have for you, Libra, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Scorpio. This is your new moon in Virgo segment. Scorpio, every year when the Virgo new moon comes along, I have to drill it into you guys. Make a wish. Make a wish. When there's a new moon in your 11th house, this is when we make wishes for our future self. We wish for something we really want to manifest in our life. And this is usually when it is more likely to come true. So make a wish around this time, please, especially because it's going to be trining Uranus in your 7th house of partnerships, collaborations, and support from others. Okay, so if you're making this wish around this new moon, it's likely that if you want to attract a partner, or you want a new beginning in a partnership, or you want something for a partnership, or you want something even for another person, it could be a selfless wish. You're more likely to attract the help and support you need to get it, or the collaboration you need to get it. So this is a wonderful new moon for you to manifest your dreams, manifest something you really aspire to, manifest something you really want. Also a wonderful new moon for friendships, for manifesting new friends, manifesting new connections, manifesting new charitable endeavors. Wonderful new moon to get involved with a charity or a cause as well. But because it's trining Uranus in your 7th house, if you have a wish surrounding partnership, marriage, or even a business contract, a business relationship, manifest it around this new moon. Make the intention, do whatever ritual it is that you do, get clear on it. But you know, the wish could be anything. It doesn't have to be romantic or business, but it can be that you're going to manifest a helpful person more than anything else. Also, your two rulers, Mars and Pluto, are trining, which means that there is harmony within you. You're understanding yourself, your needs, your wants better. You're understanding where you want to put your energy. Mars going through your 11th house. There could have been some twists and turns with friendships. You could have had some unexpected developments. There could be, in fact, there's likely, Scorpio, I have to say, there's likely somebody in your social circle that is irritating you a bit, or there has been friction, or there's just been a resistance. It's going to trine Pluto, and Pluto is in Capricorn. And Capricorn is your 3rd house of communication. You can hash it out. You can talk it out. If there's someone that's aggravating you or has irritated you, you can talk it out and really get to the bottom of it and transform it or release it, whatever that is for you. Also, we have Venus in your 12th house, which is really seductive and really it's where you can connect with your partner on a subconscious dream state, or you could dream about your future partner. It's going to connect with Jupiter in your 4th house. So for a lot of you Scorpios, it could be that in your relationship, there is some development in terms of home and family. So this could be that there's some good news surrounding your home life, your home situation, children, that could really come out of nowhere because of Venus being in Libra. You could have a guardian angel behind the scenes that's helping you, or someone supporting you quietly. But there could be some really good, really some, I suppose, unexpected, unseen help behind the scenes in matters related to home and family. Or just things in terms of timing working out the way that they're meant to, in a way that's actually very helpful for you. So that's something that's coming up as well. And don't forget your family sector, with Jupiter being there. The end of the month, Mercury in Libra is going to trine it 3 times because of the retrograde, meaning that this energy behind the scenes could be the work that you're doing within yourself, in your dreams. Your subconscious is going to benefit your family and your relationships with your family. So don't be adverse to doing some inner work and inner healing, and also being vulnerable and opening up with your relationships. In general, Scorpio, something you really need to lean into doing this whole month, but with this new moon in particular, leaning into being more open and vulnerable, and embracing a new beginning in your relationships and also in terms of your wishes. Okay, so it could also be that if you're looking to manifest something, you get help from a partner, or a partner helps you see the future in some way, capacity, or a business partner helps you see what needs to be done, especially if it's involving social networking or social media, or something like that. So Scorpio, your cards were so funny because they really relate to exactly what's going on with the new moon. You have the Magician and the Lovers. So for a lot of you, you're manifesting love. You're manifesting a relationship. Wonderful time to do that because we have the Virgo energy connecting with your 7th house of partnerships. So manifesting love, manifesting relationships is something that could be happening for you if you're single. If you're in a relationship, this is manifesting the next stage or manifesting an improvement in the current bond. It could also be better communication with a relationship. And for some people, it might simply be the realization that nothing's actually wrong. You know, it might be the realization that people are human. Sometimes there can be friction, sometimes there can be fears, there can be worries. Everybody's human, and for relationships to work, there's going to be flaws. There's always going to be flaws. And some of you might come to the realization that you don't want somebody that's perfect. You just want someone that's perfect for you. And someone that's perfect for you might, you know, you might clash with every so often, and it's learning to understand that and allow people to help you. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and not feel like you have to have everything together and you have to be the strong one all the time. It's about letting other people in. So for a lot of you, this is positive wish fulfillment in terms of your love life, especially because it's trining Uranus in the 7th house, which rules your significant other. So particularly if you're dating someone and you've dated someone for a while, or you're in a relationship, beautiful new beginning there as well. And also establishing a new level of friendship in your relationships is something that could be coming up for you, Scorpio. So that's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So Sagittarius, this new moon is in your 10th house, and that is where you find your long-term goals, your success, your relationship with authority, your place in society, and also your relationship with men or older people. So this new moon for you, Sagittarius, is a new beginning in these areas. Now, it's going to be trining Uranus in your 6th house of habits in your day-to-day routine. So for you, Sagittarius, this is a wonderful new beginning potentially for your career, or your relationship with somebody older, or your relationship with someone in authority. There may be a change around this time, and it's likely going to be something quite liberating. So with Uranus going through your 6th house, it could be that someone suddenly exits the workplace. It could be that somebody suddenly comes into the workplace. It could be that you suddenly get a lot more business. You suddenly get a lot more attention. It could be that you suddenly get promoted or get a new chapter in your career, or there's a new event with this particular whatever job you do, or whatever profession you do, or whatever your title is. For some of you Sagittarius risings, you could just be changing your title in general. So you could be becoming a parent, you could be becoming a wife or a husband, you could be qualifying as something, or there could be a new beginning in terms of reaching these goals. So because it's trining Uranus in your 6th house, you're likely going to be feeling liberated. Also, what I will say is this: if you're a Sagittarius who has health concerns or health issues, wonderful time to consult with a specialist, because you could actually meet somebody who really knows what they're talking about and can give you a lot more support. Also, if you're looking to change your physical body, or you're looking to get healthier, wonderful time to hire a personal trainer or a nutritionist, because you could get very helpful people in that particular area, especially because Venus is going through Libra, connecting with the Aquarius placements, and Venus in your 11th house is great for meeting the people you need to meet. So it can be a wonderful time to be social. And that will change in the middle of September when Venus goes into Scorpio. You're going to want to pull back a little bit. So just bear that in mind. You're more likely to attract the people you need to attract at this time, Sagittarius, and more likely to be seen, to get attention, and for some new beginning in your work or career life, or with a title. There could also be some kind of change with an older family member or something like that, that in some way impacts your day-to-day routine, or maybe the way that you view health, or the way that you view life, or something like this. So your tarot cards were the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. This is a funny combination, I have to say, because there's a little bit of too many cooks spoil the broth vibe to this. So in terms of your work, in terms of your career, I feel like you might want a bit more independence than you're getting, honestly. I feel like you might want a little bit more choice of what you do, maybe a bit more choice in terms of your hours, maybe a bit more choice in terms of your opinion, putting yourself out there. Maybe you want a little bit more of a bigger client base or something like this, and there's maybe a bit of confusion about what to do about it because of competition. But with the Seven of Cups, it's realizing that you have a lot of talents, a lot of things that make you unique, and they're what is going to set you apart from the competition. So if you feel like you want to go for a job, or you want to go for a new role or a promotion, or you want to advertise your business more, but you're worried about the competition, look at what they're doing, figure out what makes you very unique, and really sell that point, really sell what makes you unique, because you're more likely to get attention around this time and you want it to be for who you truly are. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your new moon in Virgo segment. So Capricorn, this new moon in Virgo is happening in your 9th house of the higher self, of travel, of higher education, of learning. And it's going to be trining Uranus in your 5th house, which is love, it's romance, it's pleasure, it's joy, it's your hobbies, it's what makes you feel like a kid again. So for you, Capricorn, you could really be traveling around this time. Some of you could be going on a trip, some of you could be visiting a different country, some of you could be learning a new language, some of you could be accessing your higher self and really having a perspective change around this time, especially if it's related to love, or creativity, or your children, or something like this, or what makes you happy. Some of you could really discover around this time that you want to travel more, or you want to live somewhere else, or you want to experience a different culture, or you want to see the world differently. There's something about your viewpoint, Capricorn, that's changing, and it's changing the way that you see the world. It might even be changing the way that you raise your kids, what you're teaching them, what you want them to learn, or what you want them to, learn from you. Or maybe some of them are going off to university, or some of them are going to school around this time, and it's changing the way you're viewing the world, or the way that you're viewing your life. But it's likely that you're changing the way you see things, and when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is positive, by the way. This is positive for you, Capricorn. So that's something that's happening for you. Also, Venus and Mercury are in Libra, which is your 10th house of career success, meaning that in terms of your career, in terms of your status and reputation, you're so charming. You're charming the bees from the trees. I don't even know if that's an expression, but I'm going to run with it anyway. You're charming everybody. You're charming authority. You're charming people in the workplace. If you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, you're more likely to charm the officer, that kind of vibe. And it's connecting with Aquarius energy in your 2nd house, meaning that you could actually have some positive new beginning in terms of work and money. Or it could be that you're getting more support from a male in your life in a way that's very harmonious for you, or benefiting financially from a male figure. So what I've got for you, Capricorn, is very linked to this. I have to say, we have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords, and this really does make me feel like you're getting so much clarity from taking a trip or studying something. You're getting mental clarity. You're getting that kind of crisp, fresh outlook on life that always impacts it. It happens for people, I think, when they read a book like Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, or The Secret, or something like that. You get this switch goes off in your head, and you suddenly see the world differently, and you feel the positive momentum from that. You feel the difference. The energy shifts because you've shifted. And the way that I see this for you is that for some of you, it might come from a trip. It might come from traveling. It might come from news. You might have really good news around this time. I have to say, Capricorn, you could have really good news around this time. But I think it's clarity and perspective are really going to set you off in an interesting direction. Something you want to study, something you want to learn, something you want to change in terms of your perspective. And again, as I say, especially in terms of love or happiness or your children, something like that. So it looks like there's really good news coming to you around this time, Capricorn. It's very clear. Very clear. There's a clear message, there's a clear experience, there's clarity coming in for you that you cannot ignore because it's going to be so obvious, But I feel like it's good news, things taking off, and also for you cutting a cord to an energetic drain, or cutting a cord to something that has held you back, and just understanding what you need right now, what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and what it is that you're hoping to experience for your greater good. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your New Moon in Virgo segment. So Aquarius, this is your 8th house new moon. So with the 8th house new moon, this is a time where you might find yourself a lot more interested in conspiracies or the occult or magic or astrology or psychology. And you could really have a fantastic breakthrough in these areas if you wish, because it is going to be trining your ruler Uranus in Taurus. I always change the way I say Uranus for each different sign, so I really can't keep up with it anymore. But it's going to be trining Uranus in Taurus. And Taurus is your sector of home and family. So for you, Aquarius, you could have this really amazing flash of insight into your childhood and into your past and how it shaped you as an individual psychologically. You could have a wonderful breakthrough with a therapist if you have one, or you could come into information about your attachment style or something like that. It's almost like you get this really interesting new beginning or clarity surrounding your psychology and how it's blocking you or how it's obscuring you. This could be to do with a father figure. This could be to do with the way you were raised by your father. It could be to do with the issues surrounding the father. It could be issues as well surrounding the mother. There could be something new in those areas for you that helps you feel liberated. So maybe you've been having to look after someone that has been sick and they are a lot better, so you're not doing as many hours with them or something, or perhaps you have been in a situation, Aquarius, where you have felt really anxious, and this new moon, something about it helps you figure out why or how to heal from it. Or perhaps some of you decide that you really want to study astrology and you could realize that there was astrologers in your family. One of the things that happened to me, I remember it was a couple of years ago. I've studied astrology since I was about 8, like little, and I'm still about the same height, but anyway, I studied astrology since then, but I only learned, my dad only told me a couple of years ago that he had an astrologer on his mum's side of the family, and I had no idea. I also had no idea that his mum had identified as a witchy woman. I knew none of this, but it could be something that happens to you. You learn something about your family that you didn't know, that it sets something off in your mind. Other things going on for you, Aquarius, that are so beautiful is that Venus in Libra is trining Jupiter in your 1st house. Now, Libra for you is your higher self. It's expansive, it's travel. So for some of you, if you're taking a trip around this time, especially if it's with a partner or a love interest, this could be really healing for you. It could merely make you see yourself more clearly. Traveling could make you see yourself more clearly, getting to know yourself. You could also be finding that something you learn or something you read really liberates how you view yourself in general, as a new person rather than who you used to be. So there's kind of this, not separation of the self, but acknowledging who you've become and who you're becoming rather than who you were when certain things happened. There might also be an element of forgiveness for the past if something went a certain way that you wish it hadn't. Also could be for you maybe reconnecting with someone from the past. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it could have been someone where you had a very strong bond with psychologically. So someone who really maybe got you, or someone who you learned a lot from, or something like this. It could be new beginnings there. Maybe with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, doesn't have to be, but with the King of Wands and the Hanged Woman, one of the things that I'm seeing for you is that you're really changing your perspective. You're changing the way that you see things. And I think that this is a lot to do with the Libra energy. It's a lot to do with the Venus being in Libra. It's a lot to do with Mercury being in Libra, and Mercury's going to go retrograde. So this is one of those occasions where I feel like, because it's the King of Wands and he's very powerful and very self-assured about where he's putting his energy, you're figuring out where you're putting your energy. And it could also be that you're realizing what your relationship is with authority or with men, or your relationship with people in your life that you aspire to be like. It's about realizing that maybe you don't actually, for example, fancy someone, you want to be like them. It's not about who they are as a person that you're attracted to. It's that you want those things for yourself. It could be something like that. You could have a role model appear around this time, Aquarius, but you're also redefining the way you see yourself, your hobbies, your decisions, and the way that you go after your goals is something that seems to be changing too. But there definitely seems to be something about changing your perspective around a fire sign or fire sign activities like sport or your career. or seeing things from a different angle in these areas, and seeing things from a different angle in terms of bravery and courage. You know, Mars is going through your 8th house, which is really, Mars is actually very powerful in the 8th house. It can make you really aware of what's making you tick. You can do really good psychological analysis and really, you know, reconfigure yourself. And it's trining Pluto in your 12th house, meaning that you're getting these powerful insights of how to take back your, you know, how to take back your subconscious if it's been hijacked by somebody else, you know, somebody else's experience or something that traumatized you. Getting powerful there, getting your power back, seeing things from a different angle and reassessing things, or looking back on things and seeing them from a different angle, and then being more King of Wands, taking your power back, taking back your enthusiasm for life as well. It's quite fiery. It's also very spicy. So if you're in a relationship, very, very spicy time. Also, it's a time when you could really manifest someone that gets you on an intimate level and also makes you see things differently. It could be a fire sign if you're looking for that, or it could just be seeing things differently in a relationship. Otherwise, this manifests with a new moon in the 8th house. You might be beginning a new financial saga with somebody, okay? So that could be something that is very liberating for you. Maybe you're merging financially, or your partner's earning more money. It could be that someone in your family is gifting you money or something like that. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Last but never least, hi Pisces. So Pisces, this new moon for you is happening in your sector of partnership, and it's going to be connecting with Uranus in your 3rd house. There's likely around this time to be good news surrounding a collaboration or a relationship, a one-on-one relationship. It's likely that there's going to be a new beginning in a current partnership. If you're already in one, or if you're married, there's a new beginning there. And it's likely going to start off with some exciting surprises. Maybe something you weren't expecting. Maybe they give you news you weren't expecting and it's really exciting. Maybe they send you a really beautiful gift or a really beautiful message, or just something that makes you feel very appreciated. There is a new beginning for you in your relationship life. So if you're someone who has been perpetually single and maybe you have not understood why things are working out a certain way, for a lot of you this could be clarity, and it could also be attracting somebody new that's really very special, Pisces, because we have Venus in your 8th house of intimacy and closeness, trining Jupiter, your ancient ruler, in your 12th house of the subconscious, healing in relationships, healing in partnerships, feeling closer than ever, being connected on a psychic level, being connected in a way that is just, you don't even have to describe it kind of thing, but it's likely to be described because Uranus is in the 3rd house. So for those of you single, you could really attract the one around this time. For those of you already with, you know, your person, with your soulmate, with your marriage partner, whatever definition you have for your partner, this is going to be a beautiful new chapter for a lot of you. So this could be engagement, this could be moving in together, this could be signing a lease, this could be selling something as well, making a sale. So it could be signing a lease, it could be getting a home, or it could just be something as simple as, you know, having the talk if you're dating somebody, or it could be engagements for many of you, or actually getting married. If you're getting married around this time, wonderful time to do it, just wonderful time to do it. So some of you might also elope, because Uranus is very unpredictable. So some of you might elope and then have a big wedding later or something like that. Or you could just meet somebody out of the blue. So I'm rambling a little bit. Let's go into the other stuff. Mars is in your partnership sector. So I have to say, you might have had some fights with a partner. You might have had some disagreements or just irritations or butted head on something. And you could be really surprised around this new moon when something beautiful happens that you weren't expecting. That's maybe why you're not expecting it, because you could have been fighting like cat and dog. But this connection to Pluto means that there's going to be amazing transformation in terms of wishes, in terms of wish fulfillment. Also for some of you, it could be that if you're in a friendship group, a friend could become a lover or something like that. That's also possible. But there's beautiful transformations and wish fulfillment going on there. It does feel like a significant change, I have to say. So for a lot of you, it feels like either someone's coming into your life, or the person in your life, it's developing in some way, shape or form. For the select few of you that are really unhappy in a relationship, you probably walk though. So that's just something to bear in mind. And you might meet someone really quickly after. So just bear that in mind. But Pisces, it's a beautiful new moon. So I think I've given you all the different angles of that particular aspect. Your cards. 9 of Cups and the King of Cups. You're getting a wish. King of Cups is you. This is you in your power. This is you feeling your best and you getting a wish and being incredibly satisfied. Something is so satisfying for you around this new moon. You're like the cat that got the cream. And if you're involved with a partner who is sun, moon or rising in, or Venus even, or in Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, beautiful wish fulfillment with that person as well. So that looks like something really beautiful for you, Pisces. You're getting a wish. Look. You're getting a wish. You're going to get your way. You're going to get something you've really wanted for a long time. That's Jupiter in nature, because this is my Jupiter card. And Jupiter's in your 12th house, meaning that wishes for you can absolutely come out of nowhere. You didn't see them coming. And its connection to Venus in the 8th house, there's this really deep, emotional, satisfying moment for you. A lot of other signs fear the 8th house, but the water signs, and they fear the 12th house too, but the water signs understand that that's actually where we find our true selves and our true satisfaction, and we have the type of emotional connections and intimacies that we crave. So I love this for you, Pisces. I hope you have a beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.